Reed, I found out recently that you can carve Bear Bryant with a chainsaw.
That I can? I
well,
don't think so.
You'll be able to soon after we go spend the day with Brad Martin. He's a professional chainsaw artist.
Do you have a toothpick? I need a toothpick. Do you have one?
I don't, Reed. Let's go hang out with Brad Martin.
Okay.
Reed, today we've come to the beautiful Bluntsville, Alabama.
And specifically, we are at the workshop of Brad Martin, a chainsaw massacre artist. He is going to show us today how he makes a killing in wood sculptures. Well, let's go homicide and have him teach us a thing or two.
So this is Brad Martin, and these are things that he carves with a chainsaw. It's hard for me to believe how this is even possible.
So this is something you do with just a chainsaw? Are there any other tools you use
now,
for this?
On this one, it was 75% chainsaw, then I finished it out with mallet chisel.
Right, because with just a chainsaw, you could maybe get the likeness of Bear Bryant, but maybe not the championship quality that you need the other tools for, I would think. How long have you been doing this, though?
Professionally, right around 7 years.
Okay.
Unprofessionally, I've done it since I was crawling.
That doesn't seem safe at all.
Not the chainsaw carving.
You had very careless parents.
The art type of
Okay.
stuff.
Just a thought off the top of my head, if you could maybe take a very large stump and carve a live oak out of it, you might could sell those to Auburn. Have you thought about that?
Might work.
They could use some down there.
I'd like to try my hand at this and actually see if I, with a chainsaw, can carve anything close to this bear.
This will be definitely a challenge. I, for one, am very afraid of chainsaws, so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go.
And I'm afraid of Bear Bryant, so we'll see.
It's going to be a tricky day for the Lockamy brothers. Now guys, before we get started, let's think about this. Chainsaws are a dangerous thing. Art is a dangerous thing. So we want to think safety first. So if you wouldn't mind, let's head on over here and get some safety equipment. And speaking of safety first, watch out for that. You don't want to slip on that there. Now, Will, unfortunately, there appears only to be one set of these ear protectors.
I brought my own.
So you got your own, okay, and there is only one of these. So did you bring one of these as well?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and...
I'll wear these glasses here.
Wait a second.
Okay.
Wait a second.
And that'll kind of keep us,
So
keep
let's,
our upper parts protected at least.
let's go make some art.
Do it. Now, from the look of Brad here, I have a feeling we may have gone overboard with our safety.
No, Will, you can't go overboard with safety. Safety is very important.
I can't even see your face, Reed.
You can't see my face?
No, I can't see your face.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that won't do.
And actually, my ears are a little bit sweaty, so if you don't mind,
I'm still going to wear my ear protection.
All right. Now, Brad, here we go. This is what you start with, and somehow you make these amazing creations out of this piece of wood. I'd like to see you get started just so we get a general idea of really what's even going on here with the saw. Okay. All right, now this is just ridiculous. So, I mean, we've been here a matter of minutes. You've been working on this and it's done that fast, right?
Yeah, that came from working live up in the mountains. People's attention span's really, really low. So you got to get it done in 30 minutes. Otherwise, they walk away and they walk away, they don't buy anything.
I'm very impressed with this because I think, art speaks to us and says something interesting, and this one sort of helps end some debates. A lot of people have talked about how many championships does Alabama have, but you can clearly see 22 championship rings on this sculpture now that it's sort of exposed if you count them.
Absolutely.
So that's 22, I think now is the official number. Now, Will, before we get started carving, I've thought of something. We're here
Okay.
just outside of Bluntsville, and the nearest hospital is probably about 3 days away from here.
Right.
So in the interest of safety, I have brought this cooler in case we have any detached fingers we need to help transport to the hospital. Also, I brought this cooler in case we have any detached wrists and things of that nature, a little bit larger. And also, I brought this cooler in case anyone's leg is cut off in the process.
I hope that doesn't happen, and actually I'll be the first to find out.
See, it cranks it itself.
How about that? It's like a,
Will, am I
I'm
to
a-
understand that you can't even crank a chainsaw that's designed to crank itself?
Yes.
now that is terrifying. Brad, will you start this for us? Thanks. Thanks. Well, Brad, thank you so much. This has obviously been quite a pleasure to learn how to do all this. I think we can all be happy
Well,
with the way they turned out. For
we
sure.
certainly saw Brad's earlier. That's very nice. Mine is certainly a piece of precision, I would say, Will.
It's a minimalist piece.
Now,
yeah.
with your piece, what did you say that was going to be?
It's an elephant.
I was going to guess woodpecker, actually. I don't know that turned out so well.
I learned from the best.
Well, you had a bit of a tough time starting that chainsaw there.
Clearly it was broken or something.
I'm sure our grandfather would be proud.
Up next, Reed, we go to the top of Vulcan with former Alabama linebacker and ultimate fighter Eric Anders.
We won't tell him about the chainsaw incident.